2, 1.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Wayward Sons, Never Split the Party's Supernatural RPG campaign. Tonight, the party become hunters for reals, go on their first hunt, and we learn a little bit about that transition because we have a slight time discrepancy from episode 3 to episode 4. You will notice it's going to be a little bit quieter tonight because Patrick isn't in on stream with his loud ass voice, and that's good. He will be back next week. He just needed to take the night off. I actually didn't ask why. Did anyone figure that out?
He was going on
Camping
vacation
or something.
Crabs? Gotcha. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen this before, we are playing a Supernatural RPG, which is using the Cortex system, which is slightly different than D&D. It's a little bit more narrative with a interesting dice system we'll talk about when we are doing some rolls. I'm going to have the cast as they are this week introduce themselves, and then we will jump into... I'm not going to be doing recaps when we are doing a new arc, because this is basically episode 1 of or part 1 of this episode where you're dealing with a new monster and everything. I don't feel going backwards is going to help every time, and it'll cut down on some of the, I don't know, not playtime, I guess. I do have one retcon to give though after introductions that I do have to address. For intros, my name is Dustin. I am the arbitrary nerd, and I the GM for. Oh, I missed a word there. I am the GM for this campaign, most campaigns, probably future campaigns. It's what I like to do, and it's sometimes what I have to do.
My name's Justin, and I am the one of the group that apparently is focusing on kind of techie stuff and probably a lot of knowledge-based stuff and knowledge of mythos and things.
And what's your curse?
Oh, my curse is I'm clairvoyant, but I see bad things, right? Or I see like the death of things.
You can see sometimes when you touch things, you'll see if they're going to die soon, how they die, quite graphically, and it always appears as if you were the one doing the murdering in these visions.
Oh, too bad I don't get to see death lines. That'd be really nice. Can I do that instead?
It's like the Donnie Darko thing?
No. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, God. All right.
Like Shiki from what's it called? Never mind. Just go.
Oh, okay, sure. I don't know who's next in the row. It looks like it's going to be Michael, go.
All right, I'm Michael, and I'm going to be the kind of frontline guy or guy that stabs monsters when Dustin fails rolls.
One shot's my mom.
Or 90% shots. As far as what happened to me is I am now haunted by the ghost of Joseph, who is a failed hunter, and I'm going to constantly make fun of him.
Oh, that's not very nice. Joseph was the hunter or retired hunter from the first 3 episodes. So if you guys want to find out more about Joseph, check there. / may come up when Joseph starts a haunting. Chris.
I am Chris, and Dusty nerfed my best ability.
I actually am. That's the retcon. I'm changing your curse.
Oh, all right.
So ignore everything about your curse. I'm going to retcon it right after. But let's talk about kind of where you're focusing your character, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm definitely very shooty. I'm very much lucky as well. I've used my luck several times throughout this campaign. And what's my last thing? Shooty. Oh, yeah, and I'm really good at making stuff.
Yes.
Out of nothing.
Erroneously... Nah, not really. So I was applying curses, and I did Chris's first because I'm trying to give each of these characters, which they are playing as themselves. Justin is Justin, Michael is Michael, Chris is, Chris. So I'm trying to give them some quick ways to differentiate themselves from real life to their fantasy selves. I don't know where Justin's going, but that's okay. Probably has to poop. Probably
Hi, Justin. Oh, hi, Justin.
All right. No one tell him. So I lost my train of thought. We were talking about
His curse.
So I gave him his curse thing first, which is something that they all have, which is kind of like a reason for them to be involved in the hunting biz at the beginning. And since I did his first, it was just bad. There was no benefit to it whatsoever, because that's kind of how I was feeling at that moment. But the very next one I gave, which I think was Justin's, had a benefit with a negative attached to it. It wasn't super great. So I'm going to retcon what your curse is, Chris, like your
Okay.
compulsion and what you're hopefully trying to cure yourself of.
Sure.
It is, we had talked about it previously, you are going to have a mild form of ESP.
Oh, very
where
good. Laura.
if you concentrate, you can see the aura of certain individuals. I'll say probably just about any individual that would have such an aura. However, when you activate this ability, it is physically draining for you. And based on the intensity of the aura, which is for the most part something I will determine, you will suffer a number of
Drawbacks.
what was that?
Drawbacks.
No, like literal. I forget what the health system is. It's wounds, which is the actual health, and is it stun? Is that what the
I
other?
think it's
Stun, yeah.
You'll be taking a certain number of stun, which is, I don't want to downplay it, pretty significant. I'm giving you the most you can control the ability,
Mhm.
and I'm also making it the least safe to use, is what I'm saying.
Cool.
It physically weakens you, and you are more susceptible to being knocked the F out if it comes down to it.
All right. Now, how do I document this? ESP.
Well, it is ESP, and I think ESP
then
might
put a
have a
star on it.
D4. Is that right?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, take a look. It's the whatever the lower end of ESP is, and we're doing it with auras because it does mention auras in the guidelines for the book.
It's D4, D8.
D4 is fine.
D4, D8. Yep.
And maybe it will adjust that on the fly as we have to, but I'm okay with the D4 for now. The reason why I'm giving arbitrary dice numbers out, D4 or D12s or D8s, as Chris said, that's how Supernatural does dice rolls, where you do a mix of dice based on whatever skill you're applying. So for some reason, if he was applying the ESP skill with, I don't know, perception of like looking around the room, he would roll 2 dice. One for alertness, which is the perception of this game, and then he'd run the ESP die, which we said was a D4. All right, that's enough for the mechanical stuff. Last time when we left off, you guys had just gotten free, or you had just gotten your kind of way out of the ravine you guys had been trapped in. The way you had gotten out was via a fake FBI agent that was kind of directed to you guys via Nick. He helped come smooth over the police, helped you guys get out of there appropriately without having anything like awkward attached to your names, despite the owner of the campgrounds being missing. You burned his body. Yep. And there being like active gunshots throughout one of the cabins. I think it was just one of the cabins. So what you guys kind of took yourselves away from there, and this FBI agent has become a sort of mentor to you. He is one of your resources that you have. His name is Alfred Allset Nesset, Allset being his nickname. They call him the Fed, or they call him Allset. What he does in the Hunter Society, which is not a very homogenous group, they're not very well connected or clustered, but they do have people they rely on, and these people tend to get around a little bit in the community. What Alfred does is he comes in, he has an array of fake IDs that he uses with FBI credentials to help smooth over issues with local police, usually in an emergency, which your friend Nick had considered your previous scenario to be such an emergency. Alfred has offered to help you guys out, and he has spent the past couple of months training you on the bare minimum of like what a hunter does. Alfred is not per se a hunter himself. Not to say he hasn't encountered things and dealt with them, but that's not what he does in the day-to-day. He has a day job, and he does this FBI agent like savior on the side. It is definitely not his 9 to 5. But he teaches you guys how to get access to fake IDs, and he himself can get you fake IDs. So he's one of your resources for that. He explains the benefit of burner phones, where you guys are likely going to be breaking a lot of laws when you have to hunt and kill things that for everyone else looks like normal people. Soylent Green is faithful. He also talks about like some other contacts. Most of your contacts are going to come from Nick's secret channel, Awesomeness Dude at Night, which is a hunter's Twitch stream channel where he's a resource for just hunters at least over the United States, possibly the world. So when you guys are like really dragging the barrel, you can always pop back to Nick's channel and see if there's any contacts related to X kind of thing. Also, let's see, what else are you doing? Just some general tips that if any of you guys have ever seen an episode of Supernatural, they're kind of why we're going to be pushing some things in certain directions when I set up scenes, as opposed to letting you guys fumble around as I would in D&D, Starfinder, Pathfinder. I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit more of a, this is kind of where you're starting, go. And the reason for that is you just do things in a certain way to either avoid suspicion or to get things done. And this is from Alfred's experience. Alfred, physical description, when he's not wearing the Fed suits, the black glasses, he is a pasty pale white dude who keeps himself clean shaven, because that's the easiest way to, one, disguise if he has to, but also makes him look the most professional, I guess, when he is doing the FBI getup. But he, outside of the suit, really scrawny, underfed looking guy, a little stooped when he walks, which again is a little different that first time you met him, because he had held himself up to, you know, kind of show face to the police. And he looks like he's always tired. Like he's always yawning. He's always got, you know, a little bit of stubble when he's not about to get going, but he does try to keep that regularly clean when he can. Let's see, what else is his deal? And he's got kind of dark hair that he keeps in, at least if it's messy, it's like one comb over away from being at least like a decent poof. He's probably mid-40s. He's not like your best buddy or anything. He's really just trying to teach you guys, because you mentioned to him that you were interested in becoming hunters, and he thinks that's stupid, but he also doesn't want you all to die if he could have any influence on that. So that's your relationship with Alfred. Questions on that, or anything you want to pick my brain on from there before we move on?
What was Alfred's last name again?
Alfred Nesset, Nesset.
What of Joseph's stuff did we take?
For Joseph's stuff, you guys do have some books you took with, but without really knowing what's useful, you probably grabbed a couple of personal journals from him, which is like the older or like most complete bounded books from him. You guys also have at least one flash drive and a computer of anything of his collection that he scanned onto his computer. I will say that over the couple months you guys have been preparing and waiting for your first hunt to kind of happen, Justin has been working on making it a searchable database. And so you have some things that are more common monsters. You have direct access to looking them up via Joseph's paperwork and information. That being said, Joseph kind of he had like a specific focus on what he hunted for. He, for example, was big into hunting werewolves, and whenever he heard rumor of one or encountered one, like that would get him to possibly like pick up and move across state for a little bit to take care of, across the country to take care of it. He maybe didn't focus so much on spirits and ghosts, because those didn't really excite him, and like other things that he never saw. Like he's skeptical. He was despite being a hunter and seeing really fantastical things, he was a skeptic on some things. Like you guys see like allusions to like people talking about angels and demons, and he is fairly confident that that's bullshit. They're crackpots or high on shrooms or some such.
Can I say, I think it's kind of ironic that you said that he's really into hunting werewolves and stuff, but he didn't really have much info on shifters. And so, he's also now a ghost. And you said he wasn't so much into the ghosts.
Actually, Joseph had a lot of information on shifters. It was Ashley who had no information on shifters. Okay. You got all of your shifter knowledge from his books.
Yeah.
Werewolves and shifters and things are somewhat related, and like they're all under like the shifter like tree. He actually kind of exclusively dealt with them almost. He definitely had picked up history. He was doing that for a couple of decades, so you just kind of run into different things than you expect. So he definitely has some tidbits, but it might not always be like the full deets is what I'm saying. Basically, research is a part of this game. I didn't give you guys the easy answer, but I gave you a reason as to why you guys are progressing as hunters without having to do everything from scratch, I guess is kind of where we're going with that. All right. Questions?
Yeah, one more question.
Shoot.
Do we know that we have these well, I guess Mike knows that he has a ghost following him, watching him.
You guys know about your curses. They started to manifest as soon as you got out of the ravine. You guys had talked about them a little bit. Now, the full scope of them, no, you probably don't know. But Chris, you know that if you focus, you can get a little bit of like a sense of people's energy, but it also taxes the fuck out of you.
Okay.
And for Justin,
Did I see somebody die?
You probably bumped into someone because you're clumsy AF, and I don't know. And like you saw them die horribly, but you had like this weird vision of like you like choking them out in a back room. You ignored it and were like, that was weird. I guess I've got a new fetish. And instead, in the newspaper, you found out this person was strangled in a back room.
Oh yeah, because I see it as if I were the one doing
Correct.
it. Yeah.
You're not. Like that freaked you out for a little bit, but that's not how it is. It's just part of the stuff that's going to slowly make you, just so you know the background. I'm going to drive you nuts.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Everyone has a plan.
And
Patrick's curse was to be what, wicked ugly? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean he's already got that though. He started with that.
Yeah, I cannot actually remember what his curse. Whatever, I'll ask him next week.
That was actually another thing. Does Patrick know about all of our afflictions?
Yes.
All right. Well, I just figured, seeing he's not in this episode here, I didn't know if that was...
No.
Oh, we should probably introduce him.
And Patrick is right there.
No,
somewhere.
He's not anywhere because I took him out of the new overlay.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, their other companion, who has like become this quartet of slightly cursed hunters, he is right now out trying to research some things on the witch or the maybe witch that has them cursed.
Jeez, guys, what an overachiever, huh?
While you three are kind of handling the first hunt.
Now, I know what his was. His was Destiny. You just haven't figured it out yet, or something.
Right. I give Patrick Destiny so I can keep killing him and bringing him back.
Yep.
Right. Classic Supernatural. All right. Okay. Regular evening. We will call it a Wednesday evening. You guys are doing your respective things in your own homes. You live a couple towns away, all throughout Massachusetts. And nothing should really be... Like, nothing ties you guys together. You have a Tuesday night thing you guys stream every week, and you still, like, manage to uphold that. But beyond that, you guys aren't usually connected. You don't hang out that frequently, maybe every now and weekend in there. However, in this particular Wednesday evening, when you are washing the dishes from dinner or getting ready to sit down to watch some TV, each of you, this is, in this instance, it's going to be Justin, Christopher, and Michael, your eyes are drawn slowly but inevitably towards a television, any television near you in the room, and the news turns on for all three of your televisions, again several towns away. The news broadcast is talking about a grisly murder in the town of Arkham, Massachusetts. The murder is notably grisly because it looks like the victim was pricked to death or cut to death or maybe even gnawed to death by some sharp pointy objects until they were drained of blood entirely. Their desiccated corpse being found in their apartment when the smell began to get to the neighbors, the smell of the rotting flesh.
I immediately look at a man and be like, hey, remember the thing that that I wasn't supposed to talk about and everything? Well, you know how we don't pay for cable right now? I think there's something going on. I think I'm being called. I'll be right back. And I leave.
Yeah, as you've already had this conversation with your fiance, she kind of rolls her eyes at you because I'm not sure if she believes you 100% yet, but
she's really good at rolling her eyes at me.
Yeah. Rolls her eyes, lets it go.
Epic eye rolls.
Justin, you're getting some itching behind your eyes. That's kind of similar to when you bumped into that dude and saw him die. So you're kind of feeling like this is probably also related. What do you tell your wife?
Yeah, I'd probably be like, hey, it's time for me to go again. You know the drill. So,
okay.
Do we want to actually go over like what we did with our personal lives in between?
Do you have something to say to that? Like, do you guys have something to speak to that?
I mean, basically what I would have done in this situation would be I did tell my wife what happened. She was very displeased about the entire thing for a few days, but calmed down and decided that, hey, if it's got to be like this, she's going to support it and you know, she's already really into the occult and supernatural stuff anyways. So she's going to basically kind of be a researcher about this sort of stuff. And, you know, I even actually asked her in real life what she would have done, and this is what she would have done. She probably would have almost killed me at first, but then it was like, okay, well, I'll help you try to be as safe as possible, and it's good to know because now I can, you know, try to keep myself safe is what she would have said. So,
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, seeing as it was pretty convenient that Amanda and I were watching ReZero, there's a big part where he can't actually talk about his powers and whatnot, or he dies. I just be like, Amanda, this is what's going on, and I kind of show her like the weird shit that's going on with me and everything, and reluctantly she rolls her eyes, whatever. Hang out with your friends. I'll see you next week, type of deal.
Okay.
Like she doesn't really believe, or?
I think it's just begrudging acceptance.
It's inconvenient at the very least.
It is very inconvenient for everybody.
This is the first time you guys are going on an official hunt, though. Any other time you guys have been kind of training with Alfred or, you know, kind of researching on your own, this is the first hunt. However, again, I assume they will adapt, and I would assume both your wives are probably mostly on board. Michael, do you have to do anything different to adjust your life?
As far as that, I lie my ass off and keep my friends and family away from this.
Okay, I'm going to give you a
bad idea
lie because it's kind of easy with your job. I'm going to say that you accepted a special promotion in your delivery driving position, and sometimes you're called on to make deliveries to different areas that are outside of your normal spectrum, and will take you away for a couple days.
Works.
Easy enough for family, easy enough for friends. Your job fits it, works. All right, so you guys are all clear up with fam. You are able to get going. As a group, I didn't look what kind of truck it's going to be. Hey guys, what's a type of truck you guys would like that fits 4 people?
F-150 extended cab.
Done.
There you go. Nice
So,
leg room there.
Joseph's truck that you guys managed to pick up from the ravine is your hunter's vehicle. In Supernatural, they have the Impala. You guys have this truck. It's a pretty big. What was that?
I said I feel cheated.
No, you're all right. Why do you feel cheated?
Because we could have had an Impala.
Nah.
Or we could have had like
copying.
an SUV might have been nice because then you could like hide the guns and stuff inside of it instead of in the back of the trunk where it's open.
Truck.
Well, so Joseph had a truck. I'm keeping it canonical in that this truck is going with the extended cab. You guys should be fine. And if you want to put a what do you call it, the cap on the cab, you could make it, I guess, like an SUV. Either way, you guys have access to Joseph's weapons, which are for the most part whatever you guys need to pull out. We'll call is there. I mean, it's going to be like kind of your
rocket
basic.
launcher?
Your not so much your shotguns, your handguns, your knives. He had enough to keep himself well done. If you guys need some examples, pull up a picture of what's in the trunk of Sam and Dean's car, and you probably have something equitable to that. Like including some generic supplies that you maybe do or do not know what to do with, like this like weird bag of rock
Have a
salt.
knife that kills demons instantly?
Not quite. Looking at like season 1 and pre-cult season 1, Michael.
Right. Still have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. Shush. Watch the show.
Gun with special bullets?
Only I had time.
Oh, you're fine. You're playing Splatoon before you start the stream. Throw on Supernatural instead.
Or Supernatural while you're playing Splatoon?
Yeah, I mean, it could easily be a background show for you, too. Now, getting back on track, you bastards. You guys all get on a group call. You acknowledge, you know Patrick's off the grid trying to look up things, so you don't bug him. You give him some, like, you text him or you leave him, like, Hangouts messages or whatever. You know he never responds or looks at those on time anyway. So when he sees him, he'll show up. And he'll have to figure out his own transportation. You guys get together at the, I don't know where you're parking the truck. Probably at not one of your own homes. Maybe you guys have like a garage that one of you guys knows and you just have parked there. You leave your vehicles, you grab this truck, and you take off towards Arkham. Conveniently, Arkham is in Massachusetts. It is a little bit north of like Salem area in Mass. You are hitting into northern Mass, but it's not too far from where you all live. It's only a couple hours at most. That's also some of the more dangerous stuff, though, for you guys, and I want to underline this now. As Massachusetts is your own backyard, you guys do stuff that's illegal and you get caught on camera, or you do some things, you guys may eventually have to leave Mass, leave your families, like up and move. That is definitely a ramification that I'm going to have in the underneath something that I might use. You guys can technically, exasperate that, make that worse. So just be aware of that. When you guys go further out, it's slightly less. Like if you guys are stomping around Jersey, it's a little bit easier across state lines to not have to worry too much about, what's coming back at you.
Well, that's because it's Jersey.
Well, I also picked Jersey for that reason.
On the way there, I'm like, really? Arkham, Massachusetts? Did Dustin do this? Is this Dustin's doing? Come on. Think we should have brought him with us?
He would have picked Marvel.
So Justin is referring to the fact that, well, actually, are you referring to the fact, where do you think
I am referring to the fact that Dustin is a huge H.P. Lovecraft buff. And by Dustin, I mean both our GM and the NPC in this game.
Yes. Yeah, that is correct. Arkham, I'm stealing Lovecraft's town. Most of his stuff is, free use or public domain, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind stealing from Lovecraft County. We might see a couple more towns.
Based in the one of New England, too?
Almost all of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Arkham is literally on a map I found on Wikipedia, anyways, situated north of Boston, north of Salem, a little bit of southeast. No, you're thinking of Innsmouth, maybe, which is another one, and then there's also other. These places I'm going to make are canonical in our world, so you will probably come back to those a couple more times. I will be sending you guys further away than Massachusetts, but I want to stay a little bit closer to home while I'm doing the first step. Ease you guys into it, kind of.
Cool.
You mean so Patrick showing up next episode makes sense?
Also true. I hadn't actually anticipated that making sense, but yes. All right. You guys drive up in the who makes the F-150?
Ford.
Okay. You drive up in the Ford. What kind of music do you guys end up putting on the radio so our lovely listeners and viewers can throw on some tunes while they are getting set up?
Probably metal or power metal.
Yeah, actually, that sounds great.
This group, yeah.
Yeah. I'm down.
Some
right.
Hammerfall.
Fine, done. You guys listen to Hammerfall because Patrick's not in the car. You guys are driving up.
No.
Well, let's be honest. It's probably going to be me and Chris driving every time, and everybody knows driver picks the music.
Oh, yeah. And
Passenger
if Pat was in the
sets
car,
people.
it would be Queen all the way.
Oh, yes.
Entire way.
Yes.
Pat
That's
hates
a
Queen.
Goddamn
Hates him.
Bohemian
video game
Rhapsody
music
on,
radio wouldn't be bad either.
Bohemian Rhapsody on repeat.
On repeat.
All right, now we're getting topical with the movie coming out. I like it. Okay, so that's fine. So tonight's listening will just be Hammerfall, and then later we'll do Queen when Patrick's in the car. He's gonna love it.
Nice.
We won't be playing music on stream because I have no interest in purchasing rights to things. And so if you guys want music, feel free to throw it on in the background.
YouTube.
As you drive up, you guys don't really run into any complications. You have a couple of options as to where you're going to go. The news didn't release too much information about the person, mostly because they're still trying to locate next of kin and having a hard time with it, but they don't want their information being blasted all throughout the news and that being how people find out they have this gruesome death. So you guys have like a location of where the crime took place, but like they've been a little circumspect about saying, who it actually is. In terms of this, my options would be like you could look for a local like establishment, like a diner or a restaurant or like a gathering spot to maybe poke some locals. You could swing by the police station and talk to the cops, which is not usually recommended, but an option. You could go to the scene of the crime because that's not too hard to get from local news articles. Once you get into Arkham, grab a paper and you'll find where it happened. You know what I mean? Alternatively, what other locations did I have? Let's see. There is a library in town, and that libraries are good resources in general. So if you guys wanted to maybe do some research on Arkham or like local news before jumping into it, that's always an option for you guys.
Quick question. Where exactly did this murder take place again?
It took place at the deceased's apartment.
Oh, at the apartment itself. Okay.
Yep.
So before we actually head out, or while we're on the road, so what do you guys think might be going on here, huh? Probably not a vampire if there's a lot of different holes or whatever, but I mean, maybe tiny, like tons of mosquitoes?
Your guess is as good as mine. It might be another shapeshifter.
Maybe my spiritual guide will finally be useful for something.
From what I hear, he only watches you. Never mind.
Let me see.
But I mean, he was so useful in that shifter instead of.
How do I want to manifest Joseph? Nah, you need to be. I'm gonna make it where you're like in a heightened sense of stress when he comes out. It's not gonna be like you have a ghost to chat with, but like when you're stuck in a closet hiding from a beastie, maybe he'll chat with you. Or as Chris pointed out,
computer.
Yeah.
It
still works.
A big old swarm of mosquitoes.
That's what your operating thing's going for?
Could be.
Where do you guys want to start your investigation? Because you aren't even really sure why you are here, other than you assume that there is something supernatural going on. If all of you were dragged to the TV, and it feels like your compulsion, that thing that's driving you from again the witch or whatever it was that cursed you.
Especially when it had something to do with a news outlet, and I don't watch the news or have cable.
Yeah,
I have normal
TV as well. I didn't.
I don't even have regular TV. I just attach it to a computer.
Had your TV been unplugged, it still would have worked.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's too bad Pat's not here. He'd probably be pretty good at acting like a reporter or something.
Probably be yelling.
Actually. Yeah, probably would. But he could probably go and like get a little bit more information. Maybe I don't know. Maybe out of police or whatever. If he acted like a reporter, I could see him doing that. But
I think we should talk to the locals.
That, and I think I want to go check out the library. You guys can go talk to the locals if we want to split up here.
Start with local newspapers.
Okay, so you guys are gonna. Are you guys splitting the party already? Is that what you're freaking telling me?
No, we won't.
Well, I would just grab a paper and go with one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
I do want to go to the library at some point. Look up some local lore.
You guys aren't restricted to going to one or more places. You guys can kind of go all over.
Yeah.
For the most part, the only thing that affects is if there's a time-sensitive issue, I will be keeping track of time in the background and probably not telling you.
Like more victims.
What was that?
Said like more victims.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. If more victims or if you could prevent the crimes from spreading further, I have time checks for that. They're background and you guys aren't responsible for them. It's mostly like the plot just moves forward depending on what you do. That's all.
Alternatively, we could stop at the scene of the crime, figure out a little what we're looking at, and then go to the library.
True. If we can get in there.
Well, I imagine they do.
I'm sure we can.
It's just an apartment. Yeah.
We need to find out who the person was, though. They said it took place at his apartment, but I imagine they can say where the apartment was or the victim's name.
No, you have the apartment building's name. You don't have like the apartment number.
No, I pull out my phone and enter it in my GPS.
Okay. So you guys gonna start with the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You bust it into your GPS.
And we can talk to the locals too. Kill two birds with one stone. Get some clues, talk to the locals, then hit up the library, get more info.
Okay, yeah. You guys park the truck outside of a 4-story apartment building. It is it's made out of brick. It's, as with most of this town, which is it's a bit of an older town set in New England. A lot of brickwork throughout, and it looks old. It doesn't look like rundown or junky. It just looks like historical a little bit. So as you enter this brick apartment building, there's one entrance in. There's a fire escape off the side for any of the apartment windows on the side. The street it is on is moderately commercial. If you go too far up the road, you'll find a McDonald's and maybe a couple other apartment buildings or like even like condominiums. This is kind of where a more residential district in the town. You see a lot of traffic centered around the northern part of town, which is where you find that there's a big university in town. You guys aren't really heading up that way at all, though. So you're probably call it southwest part of town as I make stuff up off the top of my head.
Is it Miskatonic University? Is that what
That
it's
is the name of Miskatonic University. Yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
I told you I'm literally using the town. Like, it's there for me to use, and you guys will probably never get into a Call of Cthulhu campaign, so eat me.
Looking around, I remark, oh, it must be like Cape Cod or something where all the buildings have got to look historic, look a certain way, you know, to kind of keep the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the McDonald's you pass is also like a little brownstone. Like, it looks nice, and the sign's a little like less neon and more artistic. Yeah, sure.
The McDonald's in Cape Cod do look good. It looks kind of nice.
So as you guys pull up to the building and you enter, first off, I need to ask: do you guys bring anything with you from the truck?
Probably a concealed pistol, I would think.
Actually, the first thing I'd want to know is, are there police like posted at the building or anything like that?
So this has been since the murder. It's probably been a week. I don't know how long it takes a body to smell. We'll say it's probably been about a week since the actual murder. So in terms of like worry about like a repeat, no, there's no posted police officer. You guys got there a little bit after the news article. You can recognize the building from the actual the news video you had watched, but beyond that, there doesn't seem to be anyone posted.
So I have this. I guess I guess lack of a better word, it'd be an obsession. I really liked that hand cannon I was using, and I do have my LTC. So I'm wearing a big bulkier, kind of like a sweatshirt with my hand cannon behind my back. Like at my waist.
So you're wearing like a bulky hoodie kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, in terms of like how we're setting this, for the most part, it's like present seasons. So you're a little overdressed.
All right, then just a long shirt then.
Yeah, I'm not doing like day to day because I won't be able to keep track of like each day.
Yeah, I was picturing like fall like weather.
That's because that's what most of New England is fall.
Yeah.
But for now, we're pretty much like towards the end of the summer.
Okay. Then just a really long shirt.
Okay, but you still got the like.
If you look closely, you would see a bulge in my back, but it is technically concealed. Hey,
all right.
It just can't be seen. Guess all you want. I might be a diabetic.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Michael, you had a question?
I was going to say I'd probably be carrying a silver knife because after reading stuff about that, it makes no sense to carry a normal knife. It makes sense for it to just be silver.
Sure. Okay.
So
you have like a full silver knife. You went out and purchased one, so it's not silver plated anymore. Although I don't know which is stronger. Would be silver plated or silver itself? Because I don't think silver is that strong. Yeah. Okay. So you give us like silver plated blade. That's fine.
Yeah, you never know what's going to be weak to silver, so.
Just assume everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a lot of Joseph's books, his notebooks, like all shifters seem to have some sort of issue with silver, so it's a safe bet.
Yep.
Would I have found silver bullets?
Found no, made sure. You'd have time to make one, sure.
Right.
Or not make one, make as much as you want. We'll have to eventually start cutting into like funds for some of these things, but for the most part, like that's not the exciting part of the Supernatural game. So it's more of if you guys are out on the road for a month because of what's going on, we'll worry about it. Otherwise, you can dip into your wife's wallet, Christopher, if you have to. So yeah, you got silver bullets. Anything you guys feel like you would like have made, I'm okay with it just existing and having in your trunk. I don't think you would keep them necessarily chambered in the gun, but maybe you would.
Well, yeah.
Okay, they're expensive then, is what I'm saying. So just be cognizant of that.
Sure.
All right.
I'd probably have a laptop with me of some kind.
So like a side bag, like a Merce.
Yeah, like a Merce with a kind of smaller laptop. And I'd also have a concealed weapon of some kind, like a pistol.
Okay, you guys gotta never get stopped by the police because you were all going right to jail.
No, not me.
I would hope that we would have, those of us like me. I'm sure you two both have already have your license to carry. I'd probably grab one too at some point.
How long does it take to get a license to carry?
In that training period.
Not long at all. Less than a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you guys could all have concealed carry licenses. I'm assuming those are only good in Mass, though, right?
There are states. I'll have to look it up. Like Vermont will recognize all. So is New
okay.
Hampshire, but like New
That makes
York,
sense.
not so much.
Okay. All right, then I'll let it go. You guys are allowed to. It still looks suspicious AF, but
Oh yeah,
for now it's not an issue, and that's good to know because it may come up. So it's
sure.
useful.
So
You
going
guys-
into this apartment, guys, how are we gonna get in?
I don't want to get into the apartment. We're just gonna kind of look around.
Yeah,
You know,
but
like,
you didn't want to see the crime scene though.
oh yeah, but maybe we should start by looking around the apartment first because it might have had to force its way in there somehow.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We're not supposed to be here, so.
Or not? Why? It's
Well, I
public.
mean, it's not our apartment.
But it's also not a private area.
I know, so I'm just gonna kind
I
of.
look around. Do I see any no loitering signs?
You might see them every now and then, but
90%
they're
of
more
apartment
like
buildings
on
do
like
not
this.
have them.
What was that?
Said 90% of apartment buildings do not have them.
I was gonna say, but not on the apartment building, but like on the streets, they have some signs like you're not supposed to park for so long.
Please take
stuff like
notice.
Yeah, please take note.
Yeah, it's not like the building itself doesn't seem to have any special publications.
Yeah, we're just looking around. And if anybody asks, we're just I don't know, looking around.
All right, I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on if anybody's around.
Sure. If you guys want to go ahead and give me an alertness roll with a skill that you guys find applicable.
Sure.
Let me see. What skill would make sense for this?
Perception state based.
Covert might make sense as a skill as well because you guys are trying to be kind of subtle with what you're doing.
I go site-based perception.
Where is site-based? Oh yeah, perception. Yeah, fine. Let's do perception. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Ooh, 6 + 8 is 14.
14. Anyone gonna roll higher than a 14?
Nope.
Give me a second.
That's almost the best I can roll.
I was supposed to say the most I do is
Well,
Pretty
2.
high.
So
Yeah, it's 2d8.
I got a 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, that's not higher than a 14, so pie hole. As you look around the building, you're able to see that there doesn't seem to be any area of forced entry. No shattered windows, no side door ajar or anything. There is a door to the back of the building, and there's a small grass area for tenants to use in the back of the apartment building. But no signs of forced entry and no visible police presence on the exterior of the building, i.e. there's no particular window that's coated up with a do not cross tape or anything. In terms of people around, what time of day would you approach the apartment building? Midday or towards the night?
I'd say midday, well, at least until there's still light,
So you went, okay, so you're still going while there's sunlight out. Okay, so yeah, generally there are people walking on the street, and you guys are able to keep it pretty subtle. You're kind of you make it look like you're just doing around the building. Hopefully the people who see you go behind the building don't see you come out behind the building because that looks awkward. But otherwise, you guys are walking around. It's not. You guys aren't overly suspicious. People are going by without any comment. A couple people might like in hushed tones, I heard that's where the murder happened. Can you even believe that? First, you know what? Fine. With your high roll, you hear one couple. We'll call a couple of college students that are walking by. Young lady says to her friend, "Did you hear? You heard about the murder, right? I thought all you had to do was deal with was missing persons in this creepy town. Now they've got murders. We probably should have gone to school in Boston, like Dad said."
Missing persons.
Huh.
Guys, did you hear that? They're talking about missing persons too.
Missing persons?
Missing persons. They were also gender explicit or implicit. No. The word I'm thinking of is they were gender neutral. I don't know what I'm trying to think of.
I don't know what you're saying either. I have no clue.
Dustin just wants to see you struggle.
Yeah. But they're missing people. We should probably look that up. Justin, write that down.
Yeah, I'm writing that down right now. You know what? I just thought of something we could probably get in there if we try to act like we're interested in the apartment, and if there's vacancies, which we know there is one. So
Justin, that's dark.
it is, but I mean, it's a way to get in there, and I feel
It is a way
okay
to
about
get in
it.
there.
I feel okay about it because we're
it's
not
just-
breaking
I'm
entry.
disappointed.
It's
I
just-
literally
I would
I go
expect-
back to the truck and I grab the safety vest I wear when I'm delivering packages and I just wait for somebody. Hey, I have a package delivered. Do you mind if you let me in?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'd expect that from Mike, not you, Justin.
So Mike, this is what you're doing, yes?
Yeah.
All right, so like the door opens and it's someone who's kind of confused and says they open the door. They're like, the door's not locked, hon. And it's an older woman who has the apartment right next to the door. And when you look at, like, if you kind of eyeball behind her, there's a panel on her door that says oh god, what's it called when someone owns a building? Superintendent, super, whatever. It's just a super.
I'm not gonna help you. You never
Landlord?
help me.
Landlord, but that's, yeah, I guess fine. Landlord, whatever. It says landlord like outside of her door, so that way you know like who you're chatting with. Doesn't have her name or anything. It's just landlord. She's an older woman, probably 50s, graying hair, stocky build, and looks kind of confused and says, "You're not our normal delivery guy, but yeah, the door's open. Just go on in."
Yeah.
The apartment building, just because it doesn't have any kind of lock or like beeping system.
Oh.
Get the hell out
See,
of the
that's
city.
what I was thinking.
No, it's like, no. It's not like,
Both of them still lock the front doors, though.
It's not like Pete's condo where you have to like push a button and wait for him to.
so every
Unlock you.
like hall inside of it has locks and everything, but get to the first floor, there's no problem. To get into the like upper stairwells to where the other apartments are, you might have to have, you know, some kind of access or it looks suspicious. This is a small, sleepy Massachusetts town. They're not worried about break-ins, and despite the murder, like that's not the norm. So
And missing
this
people,
woman-
apparently.
Missing people are.
missing people aren't necessarily the norm in this particular apartment building or this neighborhood. You were listening to college students. I gave you a specific age group there that was aware of the missing persons. I know every town has missing persons. Look at any goddamn milk carton, you bastards.
It's true. Wait, they have those still?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Look at any Stop and Shop bulletin board.
Why don't you go back to the
have
the
bulletin boards?
30s and look at some milk cartons?
Shut up. Yeah. All right. So the landlord let you in, and she'll let you guys into the lobby and stuff. Yeah, we keep the front door unlocked for deliveries, so that way we don't have to, you know, pay for another kind of security system. Although I guess
It's pretty secure.
probably look into that, huh? What can I do you for, fellas? Are you with delivery?
Yes.
You trainees or something?
Yeah, it's the first day on the job, really.
Oh, all right.
Dude, come on. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. My name is Samantha, and she holds out a hand.
I shake it.
Yep. One at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
We all shake it at the same exact time.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Samantha Ellis. I own the building. Do you boys have names?
I did shake her hand. Do I see anything, by the way?
See? Oh, when you touch her. No.
Okay.
Not yet, anyways. And I will say it's not a 100% of the time,
Yeah.
but it's enough that you don't feel overly worried about this person.
Okay.
Do you guys have names?
Joe.
Howdy, Joe.
Jeffrey.
Nice to meet you.
Jeffrey.
Jonathan.
And you, fella?
And Joseph?
Joseph.
Yeah.
All right. J. All right.
That's why they put us together.
Well, and that's why I go by Joe. Usually by my friend group, we're I'm Joseph, but you know, it's a thing. Whatever.
Yeah, that's weird. You know, in college, I feel like they had a lot of roommates with the same names too. I feel like people just get funny like that.
It's weird.
All right. What room are you delivering to? Since I don't think I've seen you in this building before.
Michael is muted.
I'm not. Am I just quiet?
You were.
I didn't hear you say
moving your
anything at
mouth
all
and you
that
weren't-
time.
Yeah.
So I was gonna quickly look at the doors to see their numbering system.
Her room on the first floor at the entrance is 101.
All right. And this was a 4-story.
It was
All right. I have a package for 403.
403. Yeah. All right. Take the elevator. I'll swipe you in. To get back to the elevator, maybe just have one of you guys hang out there. I'm actually working on something, and I appreciate not having to hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hang back. Hey, Samantha, and as the guys kind of like take up, Samantha, I heard that there was something that happened here last week. What is that all about?
One of my tenants was found dead in his apartment. That's kind of what I'm trying to get everything sorted out, trying to find next of kin, but apparently he was a bit of a recluse.
That's awful. Like, what happened?
I don't know. Weird shit. He was kind of an oddball anyways, but
Like
I
how?
don't really want to talk about it. I probably shouldn't. The police and everything.
Totally understand. All right. Well, I guess I'll hold the elevator for these guys over here.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. She just wants you to hold the elevator because it does have a swipe to move, and she doesn't want to go with you. And since you're not the usual guy, you guys don't have a card. It's not a super secure system, clearly, but she's kind of in certain circumstances right now. She retreats back to her room, lets you guys get going.
Is she within earshot?
Do you want her to be?
Yes. I kind of want to listen in on this conversation that she's having.
Oh, she's going back into her apartment and shutting the door.
Oh,
If you guys are going into the elevator and she's like leaving you, she's going to be in her apartment.
All right. Yeah, I thought she was in her office or something like that. Okay.
Her office is her apartment.
I gotcha.
It's a small operation.
Cool.
Michael, you had a comment?
I was going to say, in most cases like this, they have a card like at the leasing office or something like that for delivery people. Yeah,
I think she was trying not to give it out mostly because of their current circumstance, and she doesn't recognize you, I guess. She is actively working on something, so didn't want to have to manage it. Her apartment is the office she's the only person who works there. It's a very cheap operation. Not like sloppy or anything like that, but in terms of like actual management, it's a one-stop shop.
Gotcha.
So you guys are allowed up the elevator. She's supposed you kind of see her shut her door into her apartment. So whether you guys go to the 4th floor or not is fine. You guys don't actually have any freaking idea where this thing is though. So I assume you're gonna search the building.
One of those things.
I was gonna say, how are we gonna figure out what room it is?
Yeah, I didn't want to draw suspicion.
Yeah.
Do we want to search floor by floor? I'll take the second.
Well, we know what floor it was on, right?
Oh.
No, you don't know the floor.
You don't.
All right. Well, walking down the hallway, we obviously know it's not on the 1st floor now.
Yeah.
I imagine we wouldn't have passed any rooms with, police tape or.
1st floor doesn't have any other apartments. There's the manager's apartment, and the other rooms are there's no basement, so it's a lot of the boiler room is tucked in the back. There might be a group. It's like a small kitchenette area for if someone is having issues with their actual apartment kitchens and things like that. This is probably where the laundry room is on this floor. So basically just amenities are on this floor, plus the landlady's apartment. Upstairs is where all of the residences are.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take the 2nd floor. If you guys want to take a look at the 3rd and 4th floor, how many floors are there?
4. Well, the 3 that you guys have to actually look at. I would say that if you guys just kind of, so are you going to ride the elevator up and just check every floor kind of thing first?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
As you, so the one downside to that is it does ding on every floor that it stops at. So it dings, the doors open, and that's kind of audible. I suspect she might hear that if she was out in the hallway. She wasn't when you guys left, but just so you know. When you get to the 2nd floor, the 3rd floor, the 2nd residence floor, the 3rd floor, when you poke your head and look out both sides of the hallway, you do see down the far right of the hallway, the very last room on that hall, which does turn around the corner, it does have police do not cross tape on it.
I think that might be the one.
Maybe. How could we?
Before we just hold the elevator open, is there an emergency exit that goes down or?
Yeah, there's a stairwell. There's not even an emergency exit. There's a fully functioning stairwell. Also, if you were to look out the building is the apartment is located on the basically on the same wall the elevator is. So it is tucked in the corner. If you were to look out the window that is on the wall where you go around the corner, before you get into the apartment, there's that window. You would be able to see that there's like a fire escape out there too. So you definitely have a couple ways to get out of the building.
All right.
Do we want to send the elevator up to the 4th floor just so it looks like we went there?
I think that's a great idea. It says you're GM, so you do the thing, and we don't debate
Yeah.
it. Done.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're heading over to that doorway.
Okay. So you hit room 308. There is, let me see, how would this apartment be laid out? There is not another apartment door on this side of the hall or this side of the wall. There is like a door for utilities, but that is it. So basically you've got the wall that you guys can walk out of the elevator. You go down to the right, and on the same wall, just at the very end of the hall, is the door to room 308. Presumably going around the corner to the left and like circling back around the building like a square, you would have rooms 301 through 307, presumably. And as you guys get to the door, it is shut and there is police tape over it.
All right, so let's try opening it.
Mm-hmm.
I put on some gloves.
Good idea.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, do you have any extra gloves?
No, I kind of assumed you guys would have brought your own.
I
Yep.
appreciate that Michael knows full
Probably
well
a good
about
idea.
it and still says no.
How many people?
You don't have a box of plastic gloves on you.
Oh no, these aren't plastic gloves. These are like leather gloves.
Yeah, for
like riding gloves for motorcycles.
Maybe I should invest in some plastic gloves.
Not a bad idea. Well, we'll remember that next time. Thanks, Alfred, for teaching us how to do that. Jeez.
Damn
it, Alfred.
You pieces of shit want to spend a plot point to pull out gloves.
I think that'd be a silly idea.
Okay. I will say you guys should be using to spend plot points if you feel the need. This is not an instance of that, but I'm just using it to capitalize on. You will be getting plot points quite freely. Instead of experience points, like when you do something, you get plot points.
Mm-hmm.
The experience comes at the end of the episode arc kind of thing. It's plot points is the resources I give you guys to use. So you jimmy the handle and it is locked.
Okay. Anybody know how to get in? Wait,
Let's
actually.
go home.
The door is a wooden paneled door. It's rustic and nice looking.
Does it have a normal like handle?
It's
like a normal doorknob?
golden knob.
Is the fire escape on this on the wall? Does it match up to this apartment?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. If you look over it, you should be able to jump out the window that you're at. You could get on the fire escape and then maybe possibly walk a little bit past where the apartment would be. You can't really see unless you poke your head out the window, which I guess you freaking do. Whatever.
Do that, though,
it does look like it does go to one of the windows in the apartment. Yeah.
before you do that, though, is there a deadbolt on it?
A deadbolt on
The door.
I don't know what that means. Like, how would you know
top
the
lock.
deadbolt
Yeah,
from
the top lock. Is it just the? All right. Well, I take out a credit card.
Yep. I was gonna say.
Okay.
And I kind of swipe it through. I use my shirt because I don't want to leave fingerprints. Just kind of.
So one thing I'll tell you guys straight up, we're not going to get CSI on you. So gloves can be useful in some situations. Don't worry about fingerprints or leaving skin flakes or hairs behind unless it is like excessive.
Or Mike, don't send your ghost.
It ends up being like a high profile like thing. Like don't worry about it. Like that's not.
Well then, yeah,
Okay.
then I wouldn't care. I just kind of stick my credit card in there.
You're able to access the door. You do see that there is one of those chain locks on the inside. However, it's not locked. This was locked by like the police when they left or the landlady when she left.
I guess that makes sense. You can't do that while
Correct.
you're sleeping. Yeah.
Also, deadbolting would be slightly difficult as well.
Oh no, because you just use a key from the outside.
Oh, that's what you meant. No. It's not. It's much more than that. I'm sorry. I'm thinking when you said like up top, I'm like a latch thing up top. Okay.
I was thinking like, oh
I
damn.
just call that the big lock. Okay.
Guess I can't use my sonic screwdriver if it's a deadbolt, right?
My bad. Yeah, no, you guys are looking. So the lock is like a flimsy door handle lock, and then on the inside there is the option of a chain. That's the security for this.
All right. Well, hey guys, this was really easy. No wonder this guy got murdered.
Right? We can do this.
Well, yeah.
As you get into the apartment, you are basically walking into a wall of stench. It definitely lingers from when the body was in here.
I retch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercifully, the corpse has been removed, presumably by the police, probably at wherever their medical examiner would be. And the apartment itself is disheveled. It is the layout is when you get in, there is a relatively large living room that looks like it probably takes up most of the space. Like there's a TV off to one side, like a not a couch because he actually lives by himself. It's probably like a lazy boy chair or something in front of the TV. There are like nice like IKEA looking bookshelves. They're Billy bookshelf case from IKEA, and they've got like novels and movies like DVDs and stuff all around this entertainment area. Off of this room there is a like short hallway going to the back right corner. Now that you guys have walked in, that looks like it goes a little bit further down to a small hallway. And then there's a door on the right wall, like directly as you guys walk in. When I say directly, it's probably about 20, we'll call it 15 feet away from you guys because the door goes in, you kind of walk back towards the elevator, where the elevator was inside the apartment kind of thing. And there is a door that is ajar before you get to the hallway, but between the door that is closed off to your right, and it's open to a bathroom. So you can see the bathroom itself is clean. This living room does probably appear to be where the person died. There is clear signs of a struggle. There are some slight stains of blood on the carpeting of the floor. The lazy boy chair has some like rips in the fabric that look unnatural, as if it happened like during an altercation, not through like age or excessive use or something like that. There's a little coffee table that's upturned and no one has bothered to write it. You see like a couple of those like little police tents with like numbers on them, but there's a couple, and it looks like it was just like a slab, like a very limited, like this is not a CSI operation. They took like 3 pictures of this room that probably could have used a much more serious catalog of images, and like left. What you guys are left with is a disheveled room with some things that you probably want to step around in terms of like not disturbing police work. You also did rip down the police tape to open the door. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else you guys would see upon immediately walking in. No, I'll give you there. What do you guys do now that you're in this messy lived-in bachelor pad?
Well,
What the common things they do in this show, how much of that do we know as new hunters?
So Michael, if you want to support the other guys and say that you spent some more time like talking to Nick outside to get a little bit more of a okay, but what do you do? Feel free to use show knowledge at this point in terms of procedures, and if you overstep, I will metaphorically slap you. But beyond that, you're fine. Please support these idiots because Justin watched the first season-ish and Chris doesn't know what the show is.
Well, like, like the EMF and the searching for sulfur and stuff like that.
So the searching for sulfur, nothing relevant to you guys. You would not know anything about that. And you guys haven't encountered spirits yet, so I'd say no, nothing like that. You're much more hands-on searching for now.
Do we have like black lights or anything? You know what? Plot point. We have black lights and stuff.
Done. Justin, keep track of your plot points. What are you at?
I already am.
Okay.
I'm at. We didn't get any from last time. Like they don't re-up, do they?
I should have definitely given you guys some, so everyone gets +4 plot points regardless of where they were at.
Okay, so
+4.
I'm at my
Nice.
max.
I'm at 10.
Max is 12. Just a reminder. But
you can have more than your max.
6 is your base. Like
Oh,
it's what
okay.
you started with as like a character. I don't know if they're supposed to reset between sessions. I'm not going to do that. I have no interest in that.
Oh, okay,
So
then.
your max is 12, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, you cannot have more than 12.
Okay. So
Yeah,
spend them is what I'm saying. Like you will spend them, you will get them. You should be getting them for the little stuff you guys accomplished too. I just wasn't on my game with that for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. So plot point would be to use to say that we happen to have whatever equipment that we might need to really investigate this place.
Perfect.
So yeah, going around with the black light, going around with any sort of detecting thing. I know, like you said, we haven't run into ghosts or anything, so we probably won't find anything on like a spectrometer or whatever analysis thing. Whatever they're called.
I'm trying to think, Michael, do you remember
EVP?
when, or even Justin, when they got that in the show? Is that something that? Oh, see, they grew up as hunters though.
Yeah.
I'll say that you guys could have like a pretty like low end detector for like spiritual residue as
I'll
like
just say
common hunter gear that you picked up. No, I'm okay
this
with that.
This could be a part of the plot point. My wife is super into ghost stuff and is even planning on buying her own EVP or
Ghost costume.
Yeah. So I would know a little bit. I would know a little bit about the actual like. If it were ghosts, I would know a little bit more about that. But
sure, yeah. I'm trying to think,
stuff.
what did you call it, Michael? The tool that they use?
Isn't it like an EMF thing?
Why would I keep on saying EBP? I don't think it's.
No, EMF. He's right.
EMF is right.
Those are like really specific devices,
Yeah.
but they're just electromagnetic field meters. No, I say you guys can have like a homebrew one of those. That's fine. That doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to fight you on. So yeah, with that plot point, you bust out some black lights out of Justin's Merce and one of these like homemade EMF detectors, which is like it's like a little like a gauge looking thing with like basically stapled onto a circuit board that you have like haphazardly encased in plastic. Like you can still clearly see the green of the circuit board, and like it goes from like yellow to red. Nothing registers when you flag that around. You're not getting anything that says that this is spirits, basically.
Yeah. Do we want to?
Does it go off because Joseph's around them?
If it's directed to you, specifically to you, it does go off. Yes. However, like over your left shoulder, no. Your chest, yes.
So looking around, I mean, I pointedly ignore Michael with my black light for reasons. But I do want to look for any pets or anything like that. Like I'm still thinking that might be some sort of like a small critter. Maybe this guy was housing some sort of random weird animal in his house.
Are you guys going through the rest of the apartment? Because right now you're only at the living room and you.
Oh yeah. I'm going through the rest of the apartment.
I was gonna say, do you want like rolls for our passive perceptions or anything? Or
no, I'll give you a perception after you guys go through the building, so that way we can do one for all.
Sure.
And if you guys run into something obvious, I'll fucking tell you.
Okay.
Hey, you rolled and then you noticed the hanging dude from the ceiling. No, that's not.
Is there a hanging dude on the ceiling? I poke him.
There's not. So you I'm not trying to put like ideas in your head, but when you go through this apartment, like, what's your stealth level? Like, are you guys like tiptoeing around, like creaking open doors worried someone's behind them, or are you trying to like walk over, open the door, see what's in it, and move on to the next area?
I'd be stealthy. Only because I'd be like, this is kind of, you know how you get that weird awkward feeling when you walk into like a place that you're either not supposed to be or you've never been. I get that.
We
all the time.
know you get that feeling when you walk anywhere, Justin.
Oh yeah, I do. So I'm kind of being careful, cautious, and of course it's a crime scene, so I don't want to mess anything up. So
I
going
mostly
real slow.
lost that feeling. So
yeah, I'm being cautious. Like I'm not bumping into anything. I'm not swinging doors open as hard as possible, but I am being pretty nonchalant about everything.
Okay. These are baseline questions because it's your first official hunt, and these may evolve over time. But I want to have some point of reference. So when I say this thing happens to you, basically Patrick doesn't complain. All right. So like Chris kind of walks over, opens the door that is when you walk in, all the way to the right on the wall. And when you get in there, it looks to be an office. There is a laptop that is currently closed on a little desk. There is maybe a couple more shelves with like electronic equipment, CDs, things like that. And what else do we have in here? That's basically it. It's just your generic run-of-the-mill like little office. Like
I do open up the laptop. I am kind of curious as to what he's.
Okay. So yeah, before you go any further, you pull open that laptop, and interestingly enough, it looks like everything in this room is otherwise untouched. This laptop has been smashed. Someone has like the center of the screen has a clear like hole in it, as if someone like punched it or smashed it with something, and the keyboard looks like someone hit it there as well. So
all
like
right, well,
2 strikes.
Then plot point. I have a screwdriver on me. I'm gonna take out the hard drive.
I'm not gonna make you plot point that. That's totally fine. For like little stuff, I will just say like Justin's plot point of this was in my bag. It's fine. When you guys try to pull out like specific anti-ghost bullshit, that will be the plot point. Having a fucking screwdriver, just don't be an idiot. You guys are going to go dick around in rooms. You pull out a screwdriver, like a multi-tool, we'll say that you have, and you unscrew the hard drive from the computer, the laptop. You plop that out. You
just throw it in my back pocket.
You just your back pocket?
Is there anti-sag shield around?
No.
Right.
You're not gonna find
it
in
my back pocket.
All right. Yeah. So you've got this laptop's
Wait,
hard
hold
drive.
on. Is it a spinning drive or a solid state drive?
It's a spinning drive.
Oh well. All right.
It's not a very new laptop.
All right.
It looks like the police might have looked at it and ignored it because of its smashed condition. For whatever reason, they don't seem to be as worried about this instance as you guys were, and that's something I'll let you guys build up to that. But like, they didn't take as many pictures as you thought they could, and this laptop could have easily gone into evidence for them, and they ignored it.
I definitely bring that up to everybody. Hey guys, there's a smashed laptop, and I got the hard drive right here. Actually,
here, put it in my bag, because it's made for computers, right?
All right.
I mean, it's not going to really help all that much, but hey.
I mean, if you want to give me like 15 seconds, I can give you a prop hard drive.
No, I don't care. And audio folks don't care about your props either. So you...
I care, though.
Oof.
I do, too.
You grab that from the office. That's probably all there's worth in the office. The bathroom, as you walk past it, which is... it's the doors facing opposite of the door you came in, but it's kind of like in a little corner of before you get into the hallway that goes slightly further back. The bathroom doesn't seem to have anything overly exciting about it. There is, the window, toilet,
shower curtain pulled.
No, the shower curtain is closed.
I open it.
It's just a shower, Chris. Cut it out.
That's going to be his thing.
It's a thing. It isn't a legit thing.
Hey, Chris, you got a plot point. As you go down this hallway, then that goes further back into the room, there's only 2 more doors. One is clearly a linen closet. It's like one of those like doors with like the blinds almost, like the jaggedy doors. I don't know. I have no words today. Whatever. It's a linen closet door. Eat it. And then the door opposite that, when you open it, it is a...
You're talking about like the folding doors, right? Like the 2 fold doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
The door across from it is probably his bedroom, but when you go to open it, it's jammed.
Okay.
Hey guys, this door is jammed.
Can we open it the same way?
The door is stuck in its jam.
The doorknob turns, but the door is stuck in its jam.
Can you like push it a little harder?
I push it harder.
How hard are we talking?
I don't know. I gotta put my shoulder to it. I'm not gonna like give it like a running shot, but I will put my shoulder to it and.
Let's give it a strength check.
All right. Strength and what?
Strength.
Athletics.
Athletics.
Sure.
All right. Strength and athletics. It's D4,
Original thought.
D4, D6. It's 4, 5, 11.
An 11, and
That's
I have
actually really
my
good.
I have my little difficulty chart up here somewhere when I find it. Oh God, what have I done with it? There we go. An 11, you said?
Yep.
Oh yeah, 11, just so you know, gets past hard difficulties.
Wow.
You feel like you overdid it a little bit. It wasn't quite as difficult as you were making it, but you put a little bit more kind of gumption. I trust you. Don't worry about it.
I'm just showing it off to everybody else.
No, fine. Mine's from PAX Unplugged, which I can't wait to go back to. Oh God. Oh God. Don't
Hey, all you audio people, how do you like all these dice, huh? Do they look cool to you?
Do they sound cool? Mine are made of stone and
We're now in a dice ASMR channel.
Oh, I hate this.
We could make that. We could do that. We're gonna.
Totally.
You know what? Wednesdays on Never Split the Party. Dice.
No.
And because there's not a channel for
Justin,
it yet.
you stop it. You stop it.
I'm going to be rolling a bunch of dice today.
We got Chris take his headphones off. Mission accomplished.
God. It's like it actually.
Justin, behave.
When people like whisper my, oh God, I get goosebumps. It's awful.
All right. You push the door. You maybe put a little bit too much into it, but you are able to unwedge the door and push it open.
Yeah, Justin, I was able to push it open.
I saw that. Good job.
You might want to stop before he kills you.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get like negative plot points now.
This
I'm
room
just trying to...
looks like somebody went through and attempted to pack quickly. There is a suitcase on the bed with clothing chucked into it haphazardly, as well as some items. And the room itself is just kind of an all-out mess.
What was jamming the door?
The door itself looks to be swollen from moisture. The apartment just isn't really well regulated.
Oh.
New England's damp, bro. If it was barred, it would have been harder to get into. In terms of...
Good job, Chris. You got through that swollen door.
Because I'm swole.
Had you guys had to break down the door more, it would have been evidence of your passing, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a small check, but it's a check that builds into some stuff I'm working on later. Or it doesn't because Chris overdid it, but not until a point where he had to break down the door. You guys got into the room. There's clothes and things about. There is a full-size bed in the middle. There is a closet, which has been mostly ransacked. And I'd like you guys to, each of you, pick a room you're going to search and give me your search rolls for it. And this can be just alertness and perception again.
Well,
I don't see any
I am in the bedroom, so I might as well pick the bedroom.
If you guys have more specific, like if you have like specialties in perception, feel free to let me know.
Sight.
Do you have the sight?
Yeah, I have sight-based perception.
That's what you saying, sight-based. Okay.
Empathy. I don't know if that would help for this, but
Chris, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually pick perception.
If you really wanted to do empathy, I'd allow it, but know that the information you'd be getting would be what you pick up from like what feelings you get from how everything's kind of positioned.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case.
Like I can make that work.
Yeah.
But you're gonna miss like more specifically like the coin under the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
You might notice like based on how things are moved, like you can maybe tell where the fight was tracked across the thing a little bit, or like
putting things together. Like, okay, well, it seems like, which actually I would probably say it's like, all right, well, the laptop is smashed, and there's a bunch of bags packed. Obviously, he was in a hurry. Maybe he smashed. Maybe there definitely is something on that hard drive that he wanted to get rid of and get out of here. You think that he might have been doing something he wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, like hunting or something.
Yeah.
Throughout the apartment, there's no obvious signs of like hunter's gear. Not that everyone would keep that shit in their home, but it's an idea. Give me your search rolls. Feel free to make them whatever you are, but tell me what skill you use so that I'm aware if I should color it differently. Justin, where are you searching?
I'm just what are the rooms? We got the living
room. I'll call the office and the bathroom the other rooms, and then there's the bedroom.
Okay. Well,
in fact, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say no. You know what? No, go for it. Yeah, pick one of the 3 zones.
I'll go in the other rooms.
Okay, the other rooms, and that Michael, that leaves you with the living room. Chris, did you already roll?
I did.
Is it kind of like a living room kitchen?
I forgot to put in the kitchen, huh? Yes.
He has no kitchen.
No, he does have a kitchen. I had a kitchenette in the bottom, but that's not where everyone uses. They do have kitchens and everything. I just omitted it. We'll say that it's like towards the other corner of the living room. There's like a little kitchenette.
I got a 10, but I'm thinking I'm gonna re-roll it.
With your lucky skill or trick or whatever that's called.
Yeah.
What is up with this? I have a D12 in alertness, but I always keep rolling super low.
13.
Okay, we got a 13 for search in the bedroom. Justin, how'd you do in the other room?
7.
7? That's still not bad. 7 is the average check.
Oh, can I increase that with a plot point?
What was that?
Can I increase that with plot points?
You can add a single plot point to add a single point. So you can make it 7 to an 8.
Nah.
Had you decided to up your use a plot point prior to the roll, instead of adding like a single static point, you would add like the next level of die. So your D12 would become a D12 plus a D2.
Yeah.
That's how they go.
Oh,
they
wait,
don't do...
Steve just told Justin to re-roll.
Oh. Steve,
I haven't updated those, so I'm going to allow Steve to use a subscriber re-roll in the Twitch chat.
Cool.
Does he get a plot point?
Thanks, Steve.
I was supposed to make that like a little bit more of giving plot points, but I might actually keep them re-rolls because I looked at.
Is that a re-roll on both or on one die?
I
would assume both.
The entire, yeah.
I'm gonna go with both.
Because that's how my lucky works. Re-roll the entire
thing. Yeah, we'll make it like you can sometimes be lucky when the Twitch gods favor you.
Do I keep the highest or do I keep whatever the second roll is?
For lucky, it's you keep the second roll.
Okay.
For Twitch involvement, I will. So basically, if you had to re-roll, it probably wasn't high enough anyways. Mm-hmm. So we'll say that you can keep the highest for now, but in the future, just wait till I tell you what the fuck you found.
Oh, I rolled worse. I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Yeah, that's that gets past easy. So like,
past
so
mom. Keep your 7.
Yeah,
jerk.
All right. So yeah, in terms of the office and the bathroom, Justin, even with the 7 or the 4, it looks like Chris found the more exciting stuff there. Yeah. It's the shattered laptop, and the bathroom seems untouched. For Michael, what was your living room search?
So far, I'm at 6, but I haven't added any skills yet because I'm not sure if any of them would even apply. The only things I could think to potentially apply would be survival or lore, depending on what I'm looking for. Survival, because that's where it looked like the attack took place, so maybe I'd look to see where he was trying to go to, like, look for some type of safety, like where he would try to flee in the living room or something like that.
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow for now survival. Although I just want to let you know that's a shitty search skill, but I'll allow it for now. Like we'll call this like more like you're trying to track what happened in the room. I'm okay with that.
5-11.
Looks like tracking is under both survival and perception, which is interesting. You have a what?
11.
So we have an 11 for the living room, which is a hard search. And what was yours for the bedroom, Chris?
13.
13. All right. Michael, you noticed that it looks like the person was standing like near the bathroom maybe when it started, and it doesn't look like they were prepared for it. I don't know how to really phrase that, but like the fight seems pretty one-sided at first, and then as it gets deeper into the living room, it starts looking like people were thrown around in equal measure, or at least it wasn't like him being dragged anymore. There was a bit of a kerfuffle. What you find in the living room, though, like under some pile of debris, you find some like mail, like some old mail that got knocked over off that coffee table maybe, and you get the person's name, so you know who your Vic was, and that was Caleb Francis was his name. I should probably add this to my notes. And the mail is like bills and stuff, nothing super exciting. You also find in this room. Oh, let's see. Do I have a list of things I think I have? What would he have that was interesting? You find a discarded necklace with a cross on it, so like a symbol of Christianity. It is silver. You find. We'll call it like a first aid kit. Looks like he might have pulled it from the bathroom at some point, but wasn't open. It just happened to be like tossed about in the struggle. Again, it doesn't look like it was being actively used. Maybe he was packing the first aid kit and was pulling it from the bathroom, and that's kind of where he got pulled from. And that's what you get in the living room. Chris, you dig through the bedroom a little bit more. You find a set of keys when you were searching through like the suitcase he was packing. There's like a little ring of keys. They do not look like keys to the house. They look like they might be keys to like a padlock of some sort. You don't see anything padlocked here, but underneath the suitcase as you're moving, you do get like a business card for Mr. Francis, and it has his place of employment. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you'd find. And you do find a small stash of cash. Call it $400.
Ooh, nice.
I'm not gonna take the cash.
Oh.
Okay.
Although I wouldn't.
But I will take the ring of keys and the business card.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like he worked at a place just called Envirotech. Oh wait, is that a real place? I gotta make sure I'm not actually.
Probably. Disclaimer: any places, persons, businesses, or whatever seen in this show
Do not apply in real life. It's all fictional.
Christ,
yeah, whatever that whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna shorten it to Enviro Technologies. This probably exists too. Whatever. I don't care. He works for.
It's not shortened. It's elongated.
Non-real world Envirotech. It's fine. Or Envirotech, we'll call it.
It's like medical technology. Who would do that?
It does look like it is obviously a technology business, and he just has the title of analyst.
Oh, jeez, Steve. God damn it. For those audio listeners, Steve just listed the URL to Envirotech.
Yeah.
We're not associated with Envirotech.com.
And Biocide HS 15%.
Stop it. We're not. Are
they out of Massachusetts?
It's in town. It's in Arkham, Mass. Not a very far.
No, I mean in real life.
No, they're in California.
Oh, okay. So opposite side of the country.
Yep. Other Envirotech.
Justin, I'm going to throw you a bone, actually. In the trash in the bathroom, he's got like a little trash basket. You also find a receipt from a local diner that you guys drove past on your way to the apartment. The diner is called Fish and Stuff.
Fish and Stuff. Sounds like my kind of place.
I love it.
In the kitchen, was there any dishes or anything used? Specifically, I'm looking to see if like there was dishes for two people as opposed to one.
No. It's like I said, he had like a box of pizza that's like mostly eaten and shoved in a recycle bin. Like kind of comically only the corners in the bin kind of thing. In the fridge and stuff, he's got like a Mama Celeste pizza selection of like little like single serve pizzas and like meals. No, it definitely looks like one dude lived here, and specifically a dude who does not care to cook.
So
any pictures?
How does the ESP work? Do I need like to see a living person, or can I use the blood that's in the carpet?
Nah, it's a living person. You get the aura from the person.
Good.
In terms of pictures, yeah, sure. You can find a picture of him. He would. Oh, you know what? Let's be honest, guys. You live in a bachelor pad by yourself.
No.
Yeah.
No pictures.
Zero.
You know what?
Nope.
You might find some like
I could imagine seeing some pictures of like with friends and stuff like that.
Nope, not
Doesn't
me.
have any friends.
I don't have any pictures in my house, and I'm not a bachelor.
He might have like a couple of like posters on the walls of like shows he enjoyed. He does. You guys don't have much information on him yet. The shows like that's it. Like at best, might have like a couple shows that he might have watched, and we'll call it like older anime.
Ooh, good taste.
Bit of a nerd, bit of a tech nerd. Laptop, while it wasn't newer, was pretty well used before being smashed.
I kind of feel bad for this guy now.
Yeah, right?
Thank God nobody went through that trash barrel.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else you want to do in the apartment? Or anything you want to look at that I maybe like omitted, and I'm happy to give you guys.
So, what do you guys find? Anything good?
I got keys and a business card. We know where he works.
Well, that's good.
Going through the
Doesn't work there anymore.
What are the keys for if they're not for the apartment?
I don't know. I'm hoping that's like a locker at his place of work.
Going through the bills, are there any bills for any storage places?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yes, there is. I told you they were bills. I might as well double back to that. Looks like there is a monthly allotment, or probably not monthly, right? How would you pay for like a storage locker?
I think it's monthly.
Monthly, sure. All right, there's a monthly bill for a local storage locker, and it's just called Keep Safe. God damn, that's probably a real place too. I am so sorry.
Yeah, probably is.
Sponsor us. Keep Safe. There's a Keep Safe.
Why don't you just call it Arkham Storage?
Well, it's not a storage place, so we're good.
Arkham Storage probably exists too. Whatever. Keep Safe storage facilities. That's what it is. Yeah, and it is like a storage locker like you'd see on like Storage Wars.
Nice.
Well, all I found was this receipt to a burger place that we passed on here.
It's called
Fish and
Stuff. How the fuck are you calling it a burger place?
Yeah, I thought you said it was a burger place.
No, I said it was a diner.
Oh, a diner.
Wow, a burger place is called Fish and Stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Fish burgers?
Well, burgers are pretty good, I'm sure.
But I mean, if they only sell burgers,
what's the date on the receipt?
I don't. Oh, okay, that's fair. He died a week ago. 2 days before he died.
I mean,
it's
might not
probably
be
just
much.
a receipt, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I go.
But
eat
I'm
places
kind of
all the
hungry.
time.
Do you want to go there?
Yes.
I want a burger.
I want fish and possibly stuff.
So Chris, you mentioned the money.
No.
Okay. I will tell you, like straight up, Chris, you're don't take this the wrong way, a prideful person, and I could easily see you having zero interest in someone else's money, and that wouldn't even cross your mind.
That's exactly.
I will say, general hunter like spread, take what you can get sometimes is kind of what the goal is. You don't want to dip into your real world finances too much. Any kind of cash can help with like bribes or paying for your meal at the diner. So when like Justin and Michael and Patrick like pick up cash like that, I'm okay with it. That's not necessarily like small petty crimes or things you guys are going to have to get used to.
Loot the corpses.
I mean,
I think that's going to be a problem for you in general, Chris.
Yes,
and I'm okay with that.
It's a problem for me because I hate money. It's a very known concept with me. I hate money.
I probably would pick it up.
Concept of money.
Well, but
Thinking about it, I didn't see
Yeah.
it. You're right. But I'm saying I probably would pick it up just because, like, okay, well, the guy's dead, and
Alright. So
I can't let money go to
I
waste.
recently found $100 inside of a friggin' Stop and Shop, and I gave it back to people. So
What? Wait, was it the actual people or was it like the Stop and Shop people?
I ended up giving it to the store.
It's different. It's different when you find money out. Like, if I found a wallet out or money in general, I would try to find who it belongs to. But in
So
this
I'm
case, if the
saying-
guy's dead,
First
I'm
hunt,
taking it.
I see us not taking the money. 3 or 4 hunts down the road when stuff
Oh,
starts
yeah.
getting tight, I see us taking the money.
I'm okay with this for now. I don't have any issues. I just wanted to make sure that that you had like a baseline for it. Then that's fine.
Okay.
We're developing
I definitely-
baselines that we will be adjusting throughout later episodes. So you guys are able to fake credit cards, like, and you will have a couple of fake credit cards out. That's just more like small paper trails that make it harder for you guys to go back to places sometimes, and like sometimes it'll require you to kind of like replenish your supply of fake bullshit. But that's fine for now. You guys leave the apartment. You put up the police tape behind you. You shut the door and lock it from the inside, so it looks appreciably how you had left it. You didn't disturb anything enough for me to have any notes there. I will say, however, that a person down the hallway on the apartment that is on the other side of the elevator, so the other corner, is kind of like walking out and locking their door behind them. And they notice you guys at the end of the hallway walking out of the apartment. And well, you know what? I'm going to say that you guys have put the tape back up, so they notice you guys kind of at the door loitering. It is a common older guy, probably 60s, gray, thinning hair. He walks over to the elevator cautiously, clearly eyeballing you guys, slipping his keys into his pocket kind of slowly and just squinting at you guys with an uncertain look.
Good thing Pat's not here because he's memorable.
I make it. Oh god, I'm memorable too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Damn.
I just kind of look at him and give him a nod.
Okay.
Make eye contact, just a nod.
Trying to not be visibly uncomfortable right now.
You fail.
And possibly failing, yeah.
He nods and he says, "How are you now?"
Good, and you?
You guys need to watch Letterkenny, but I'm sorry. All right. You guys friends of
Caleb?
You guys friends of Caleb?
Well, you gonna say something, Mike?
I was gonna say we were.
We were.
I'm honest, by the way. That's one of my faults. So lying is going to be hard for me. I don't know how you do that.
It's more so if I'm gonna make you roll to be like secret and stuff. I give this guy a check saying like he's either hard to convince, average to convince, like formidable to convince. I'll make you check. You'll roll your 2 dice as normal, and then you'll roll a third dice that subtracts from that score. So if you're honest, what's your dice score for honest?
It's only a D2.
So you would roll a D2, i.e. flip a coin.
Yeah.
And you would subtract whatever that is from your skill and your attribute roll. It's pretty easy. The system is not at all complicated.
Yep.
This guy is not super suspicious of you yet, so I'm not making you roll for it.
So I kind of say, yeah, we were. He was a fellow online gamer of us. I kind of point to one of my tattoos, my little nerdy tattoo. I'm sure he has no idea what it is, but
that's nice. I didn't know he played games. I know his name, bastard. But I guess he worked with computers or something, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. The police blocked it off. I think you'd have to talk to them to get access. I wouldn't go touching things around here, though. People are kind of on edge.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was awful what happened.
Yeah. You guys taking the elevator?
Yeah. We just kind of needed closure. Yeah, we're heading out of here now.
All right. Yeah, I'll head down too. And he swipes his ID card, and the elevator opens, and he kind of gets you guys in there.
That's a bad idea. Oh, we should have taken the stairs.
Actually, I think I left something. So you want to hold up, guys?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
You can go. We'll just take the stairs.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Good luck, guys. Sorry about your loss.
Thanks.
Have fun.
Like this is the look on his face. It's a very quizzical, squinty look as the door shuts.
That's just.
I don't know why I said that, guys.
I thought that's what you normally say to people when you leave. Like, have fun.
What was the red flag with going down the elevator?
We told the person downstairs we're delivery people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now this guy's gonna get to her before you guys do.
Or we can just run away and nobody knows.
Hey guys,
but she thinks
fire escape?
Well, actually, the
fire escape?
Stairs are faster.
But the fire escape is in the back.
Stairwell door has an ID swipe.
Yeah. Fire escape's in the back, guys.
Generally to get in, not to get out.
Yeah. Stairs
I
faster.
wouldn't walk the other way.
I say
Oh,
go
I'm sorry. You're right because you're already in the. I'm so sorry. You can push it open without. You can't go back in, but you'll be fine pushing it open. That's right. Sorry.
If the old lady's down there at all and she can see us, which I don't know if she can, she's gonna notice if we don't come out that front door. However, so I'm saying we run the hell down the stairs and get out before that guy. Like right after, like I would be booking it towards the stairs right after that elevator door shut.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Do Chris's thing and go up the fire escape to make it look like we actually had something to do up here.
Yeah, I'm heading towards the fire escape. Justin, go down the stairs. It's fine.
All right. Well, whatever.
I'm memorable. You're not.
I mean, we said we were going to be on the fourth floor.
It's true.
So
What's that?
I said I'm actively not memorable, so we're good.
All right. Well, I'm heading down the fire escape because it's usually on the opposite side. Maybe I don't know. I'm just assuming.
The fire escape is by Caleb's apartment.
Yeah, I'll just go down the fire escape.
Justin, you splitting the party?
No, I'm going with them.
Michael, I know you are. Justin, you splitting the party?
Oh, you're both going down the fire escape?
Yep.
Yeah, you like start heading to the stairs like a fast pace, and you notice that they're not behind you, or rather, they're much farther behind you than.
Yeah, I'd turn around and go with them then, even though I don't like the idea, but I'll do it.
All right, you're able to get out the window. You get out on the fire escape. You guys get down the two floors. You don't bother extending the ladder. You guys just kind of get down to the bottom, kind of drop. I want you guys to give me So it's not. I'm not actually asking you guys to be stealthy, but I want to kind of give like a random chance if someone notices you or not. Could somebody give me whoever has the highest stealth bonus, or just all roll me your stealth. So that's going to be
Alertness and covert.
Sure.
All right.
We don't have covert. Is it just alertness?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I have covert.
Well, wouldn't be like agility or something like that? Because alertness is more for finding things, not hiding, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
All
Let's
right,
make it.
I'll go with agility. That's higher.
Make it agility and covert if you can.
I don't have covert.
I don't have covert, but could I substitute athletics?
No, let Chris. We'll just have Chris.
Okay, I have
rolled a
Chris do
10.
it.
10?
Yeah, I have.
That's pretty good. No, that's
I
fine.
have
Yeah.
covert of 2.
You guys get down there quickly enough and without making too much noise, and no one happens to be passing by there. I'm sure that I should have probably rolled if someone's walking by kind of thing, but trying to put the dice in your hands / I don't want to roll. So yeah, as you guys get down there, no one seems to notice you guys. I'm gonna say you try to leave a little bit more conspicuous or inconspicuously, where you kind of duck around the corner, trying to avoid the front door, and you make it back to the truck.
Do we notice that old guy talking to Samantha?
Is somebody gonna poke their head around the window? Like there's like a little window maybe in the door or something. You gotta poke your head up there.
I'll poke my head.
Yep, they're chatting.
Oh, all right. We're out of here.
In fact, as you turn to leave, he's pointing back up at the elevator, talking to her.
We are out of here.
Yeah.
Go, guys. Go, Mike.
Oh,
go.
jeez.
Go.
I'm already in the driver's seat.
By the way, I think Steve gave somebody advantage.
Give you
Said me, but I wasn't making a roll, so.
Save it for later, Justin. He likes you the best.
Apparently.
As we get back in the car, like, oh my god, that was so awkward. That was so. Oh man, they're probably gonna be like, they're definitely gonna worry about us now. They're definitely gonna worry about us.
Ever again?
What?
We're not gonna be here.
I know,
again,
but
maybe.
but it's gonna get around, and then the police are gonna figure out that we were there, and oh god.
In the back of your head, you remember, God, I forgot his name, Alfred's voice, and he says, sometimes you just gotta not worry about it and keep going.
Sometimes you gotta not worry about it. And just
Weird. I was just thinking of Alfred saying that.
Yeah,
That's so weird.
Hey guys, let's set up the next scene. Where you headed? You've got the diner, you've got his place of employment, you have the other locations I listed.
Storage facility.
You're gonna go straight to the storage facility?
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea.
Awesome.
On that bill, there wouldn't happen to be a code to get in, would there?
No. What kind of stupid security would do that, Michael?
No, I was thinking more maybe this was a recent acquirement and he wrote down his PIN number.
No, because it's a padlocked thing.
Oh yeah, couldn't we?
I've got
get
lots
there?
of plot points.
Nah, you guys already have the keys.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have the keys. Yep.
You got the keys. So you guys drive on over.
You
It
never
takes
used
you
the storage facility, have you?
30 minutes to get there maybe, and the storage facility that you guys get to it's one of those like open concept storage facilities. It is literally basically don't mind me, it is a set of like almost looks like shipping containers out in like a lot. It is like off to the side of the road. You have to like drive down like a small area to get it. There is like a like guard shack, but like it's not occupied by the time you guys get there because you're getting there towards we'll say the evening now. That's like the business office. If you wanted to rent a locker, you would like contact the person who works there. But to actually get access to your locker, it's assumed if you have the keys, you have access. I.e., when you open up that bill, it's a discount locker place. It's not that
Yeah, I was
expensive.
gonna say, it probably is run by some sort of either underground market or something. It doesn't seem like a very legit place, but
No, I'm describing places in Massachusetts. I've seen many of them that have
yeah?
that setup.
Oh wow.
There
They
are
all
some
have front
facilities.
gates.
I've never
Inside,
seen
yeah,
that.
there's like a fence around it, but you have a set of keys. One of the keys opens the gate, and you walk in through the iron link.
I've seen it.
iron
I've
link.
seen it.
Now you're in where the lockers are, and they're big. Like it's like a walk-in locker,
Sure.
like you find in Storage Wars. I think
Yeah.
is that reference. It's just that it's like not in the facility, and there's not like constant security. There are definitely more secure lockers. Doesn't seem to be what what Caleb needed or what Caleb was willing to pay for. I'm not sure which the issue is. You guys, so you like looking at the keys, you find that there is like a code on it, like a D102 or whatever. You hunt down locker D102. You insert the little key into the padlock, which is a pretty diesel padlock on like a pull down shutter door. You unlock it, pull it open. You make sure no one else is using the facility right now, and it's not. You guys are fine. It seems to be just you guys. You slide open the shutter door, which makes a pretty loud grating sound as it disappears up into the ceiling. And you bust out some flashlights so you can actually see inside the darkened interior. The cube is probably 10 feet by 5 feet. Maybe 10 feet by 10 feet if it's actually a cube. Let's do that. It's a relatively decent sized space, but it's like a big closet. You are slammed by the overwhelming smell of garlic. And as you guys flash your lights around, you see hanging around the perimeter of the door are just cloves of garlic hanging. Some of them are dried and desiccated looking as if they've been there for some time. And some they're relatively fresh, though at least a week old. There's nothing like straight up fresh, but you get a powerful, pungent smell of garlic.
Man, this guy really loved garlic.
And he had a cross on him, right? Or cross out there. Did you share that information with us?
I'll say if it's not like actually going to be an issue, yeah, that information was shared. The money I could see being contentious.
Man, was this guy like really afraid of vampires or something? Because like,
either that
They didn't think they sparkled.
either that or he was a garlic connoisseur, which, I mean, I've seen weirder people.
I do love me some garlic. Garlic's fantastic.
Man, I wish I could have picked his brain.
Hey guys, give me a search check. Do another. If you don't have perception, just shut up. But give me an alertness and perception. Whoever rolls highest will use.
I got a 4. I'm gonna use my second reroll.
Okay.
I've got advantage on this from.
I got a perfect 8. That's a 16. Bite me.
6.
So I've got a.
Did you say bite me? Because that might be happening.
I said fight me, but bite me works too.
I got a 12 or a 12. So 12.
I don't think I'm going to get higher than 16. So
Yeah,
Nope.
it's not enough for a critical success because this had some hard elements to the search. However, you guys thoroughly searched this locker, and you guys are going to get all the information within it, which I'll try and give you as we wrap up the episode. As you shine your lights around this interior, Chris is getting all into it right away, like elbows deep into stuff. And you notice that there are a number of things in here. There's a bookshelf with slightly more esoteric books. They all have the local library stamp on them, which is the Arkham Library, and they are related to vampires, spirits, like other like folktale beasties. But these books, like as they came from the library, seem to be all like very generic in content, or even like as you guys have kind of like started to learn about like fact versus fiction, some of them seem kind of superfluous. I think I said that right. I'm gonna go with that. They seem almost more like they were created for pulp more so than like real hunters' work. Like this ain't a bunch of hunters' journals. These are like bullshit. Although again, some bullshit has like meritable content, so not necessarily displays. You also see like in like one of the other keys opens up like a steam trunk or something, and inside you find wooden stake, a couple of bullets that look like they are probably coated in silver. You see, I'm trying to think whether. Basically, what you're getting here is a bunch of stereotypical items that would kill movie monsters. So whatever has ever worked on one of your like Pulp Fiction monster movies, this guy's got somewhere in this locker room. Nothing, again, to the quality of what you guys got from Joseph. There's no actual guns. There's no like real weapons other than those like silver bullets, again, nothing to fire them, a wooden stake, these cloves of garlic, flasks of water that look like they're not quite labeled, but the containers that they're in are somewhat ornate and may have like religious text on them, i.e. you might have just found a batch of holy water. Let's see, what else did you guys find in here that was actually useful to you guys? You find a camera in a padded case.
Is it a digital camera or film?
For the sake of being easy, it's a digital camera.
I look at that immediately.
I'll get to that in a second. No, I'll get to that tomorrow, next week. Trying to think if there's anything useful in here that you guys would actually take away, though, in terms of like useful tools.
Well, really quickly, from any knowledge that we might have had about monsters, be it from Joseph's books or anything, do we know if any of these things actually work on vampires?
I will spend plot points to say that I've studied them.
I'm actually going to say you guys don't have an access to study vampires. Well, actually, no. If you want to spend plot points, we'll make it work.
I have mythology.
I studied one of his journals, and it was about vampires.
So his journals about vampires say that they're extinct.
Yeah,
they were hunted to extinction, and he's got a couple hunters' name attached to them that were specialized vampire hunters, and he never had to bother with them because by the time it mattered to him, they were all gone from America, at least America.
So it kind of seems like this guy was really afraid of vampires of some kind, and maybe he thought whatever was after him was a vampire, but it wasn't.
Very true. Dustin, when you said he had pins, like pinpricks all over his body or something like that?
The news said that it was a bunch of like, they weren't sure about what the wounds were. They could have been pinpricks, they could have been bite marks, they could have been gashes. It's just that they were relatively small and all over the person's body, and that they were drained of blood through these holes is kind of more of what they were highlighting. They didn't make any real like intense measurement of the holes. You guys would have had to have hunted down the body to get any more on that.
So yeah, I mean, we know that vampires are, extinct, air quotes, but I mean, he might have put 2 and 3 together and got 4. Yeah, it could be something similar.
I guess it's a matter of was this guy a hunter, or was this guy just some dude,
some paranoid nut? That's what I'm starting to believe. But it could still be some sort of similar monster that sucks blood, but not a vampire.
Could I use mythology or anything to maybe think of other types of monsters that would kill their victims in this way? Other bloodsuckers?
Yes, but I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to give you any monsters that would kind of fit. I'm not going to give you the right one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could totally give that to you. And Michael, more to your point, if you wanted to spend plot points to know this one, I'd say it's a moderate jump in terms of seeing, like, basically getting information on something that is in this time, like at this time in like the universe. thought to be extinct. I'd give you a moderate if you wanted to spend 6 plot points, which is again a significant sum of plot points. I would give you the details on like modern vampires.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. So I'm going to say that in addition to Michael spending a little bit more time like on his own researching, he found some of Joseph's notes incomplete. Maybe he's got an antagonistic relationship with Joseph, considering Joseph is really trusting him. But like he's gone and tried to fill in some blanks, and this is one of those instances. So vampires have a lot of things in lore that are supposed to be like anti them or kill them. So like they're not supposed to be able to cross running water. They're not supposed to be able to enter a house uninvited or a residence uninvited. They are supposed to be like afraid of holy symbols, especially crosses. They're supposed to be injured by holy water. They are supposed to be burned by sunlight, like burned to a crisp. They are supposed to be killed by wooden stakes to the heart.
Shapeshifters,
being able to turn into mist and animals and bats and shit. All of these things Michael has found, like from like as much as he can tell actual hunter accounts, every single one of them is bullshit. Things you need to know about a vampire. Oh, and like the fear of garlic, that's also bullshit. Things you know about a vampire. The only way to kill them, cut off their head. Sunlight, it's more like a bad sunburn than anything else. They don't like it. They won't go into it unless they absolutely have to, but don't kill them. In terms of other things, again, they are mostly nocturnal, but again, can operate during the day.
Can they turn others into vampires?
Yep. Very much he's able to convert. They're usually found in packs of 8 to 10.
Is it virgin blood or anybody?
Not listed in what Michael found. That's like real specific, and I don't.
Now, considering how many plot points I just spent, do I also know the fix?
Cut off their head.
The fix for vampirism or to kill them?
Fix, like to prevent it. There's a way to cure it.
There isn't a way to prevent it, and the cure, that'd be something that you isn't known. And like that's such a like obscure thing. You're right. In the show, they do eventually find a way to do that. For you guys to find that out, it'd have to be more like it like came up, like you were under duress, or like had an issue or a reason to look it up. So right now, no. You know that it can spread. You're not quite sure how, although probably through biting or blood or something like that. You know, like the common lore. But most of the lore is absolute horseshit. There just might be a couple of things like cherry picked here and there that are true. Again, the important factors you guys know: sunlight, don't kill them. Got to cut off their head. That's really the baseline, and that's a decent amount to know. So, if vampires are involved, you guys have the answer. Or if you guys run into vampires in the future, Michael has looked them up a bit.
Okay. Cool. So, do you want to give your spiel, Michael, or?
He more or less just said everything I could possibly know.
All right, I just didn't know if you wanted to actually roll.
You didn't want to repeat what the DM just said? That's a favorite thing to do.
For my rolls, I'm going to use 2 plot points to increase both my dice.
Okay.
I got a 9 and a 3, so 12.
Okay. In conjunction with Michael's knowledge, and you're going back like with mythology. So we've got Michael also mentions one thing that is like well outside of established fiction and might help out with identification. They don't have 2 fangs like in every like depiction of Dracula you've ever seen. In actuality, they have just a second set of teeth that come over their normal looking teeth, and these teeth are all like small jagged fang looking fuckers. They're like all like snarly and shit too. Also, when Michael tells you that they come in packs of 8 to 10 usually, if a whole bunch of vampires was biting up on this dude, it might look like a bunch of pinpricks, drain him of blood.
So I don't even need to think of like all the other types of monsters that might...
Oh, so other monsters that you would have encountered and may have been in Joseph's notes that also fit a lot of the things from vampires, because this is definitely not 100%. He mentions Chupacabra, which is like a weird humanoid, somewhat shifter adjacent kind of thing. It's not really a shifter, but it's like humanoid until it needs to not be. There are a couple of like undead creatures other than vampires that might have done this. The blood sucking doesn't quite fit it, but like gruesome murder could come from any number of ways. And I don't have a full list of the type of undead that you can encounter in Supernatural, but there's a couple that could potentially fit this.
No super mosquitoes, huh?
So in terms of that, you've heard of like Native American burial grounds having like all sorts of weird curses put on them, and at least one instance affecting like bugs and things in the wildlife. So, you know, you could maybe look in the library and see if there's any Native American touch there, because that could definitely tie into it. It's a real specific, and you've seen no other evidence of that. Still could be possible. Without seeing the body, you really don't know how big these holes were that he was drained out of like the blood from. Let's see. Like, you know, maybe like witches could be involved too. That's something you guys are kind of sensitive to, but like ritualistic draining of blood and like poking of holes and making someone a goddamn pincushion, it could be there too. You guys are missing a lot without seeing the body. In like most investigations, seeing the body gets you a lot of details. In this instance, the body was already taken to the police station. That means you guys got to get real ballsy to go check it out. So I totally respect you guys not going there. And I also didn't give it to you one of like the main locations. Like I said, the police station, but not my first choice either.
Nope.
So some of the stuff you guys are getting, you're kind of going through hearsay to try and patch together what probably happened to this dude.
All right. Well, it is 10:30.
All right. I will say then the last thing you find in this locker, other than some like kind of goofier things like you know kill vampires or like stereotypical monsters, you do find another receipt where it looks like some of these items came from. And there is like a horror / antique / novelty shop, like a horror theme shop, and it is called Harry's House of Haunted Horrors.
I love it. Oh man, I love it.
I feel like that's probably a real thing.
Harry's House of Haunted Horrors.
Yep.
I'm sure Steve's already Googling it.
It's in Arkham again. All these things. It doesn't seem like Caleb left Arkham very much. And also, you find his journal. You find Caleb's personal journal. It is a slightly newer looking thing. It is leather bound. It is looks like he probably spent a bit of money on it. It's not like a lined notebook or anything like that. It's like a nicer looking notebook. He's got handwritten notes throughout it. It's only like written to about like first quarter, the way it has text in it as you flip through it. And you guys can read that a little bit when we pick up here next week.
So as the scene kind of fades out, you just hear me go, so Mike, Joseph has all this information about evil stuff and like vampires, but he didn't believe in angels or demons. It's so weird. What a quirky, weird,
and terrible hunter.
Yeah, he just watches you, huh? He watches you while you do it.
Do we know about that?
No.
I just assume.
Yeah, I'd say the specifics there are probably not. I'd say you guys know he's haunted because you guys would have been all like, oh, fuck, when you guys had your shit turn up. But whether or not Michael's like, yeah, sometimes he watches me masturbate. I'm going to assume Michael doesn't say that.
It's already been canon.
Yeah, I know. It's the second episode we're ending where Michael's masturbation ghost has become a thing, and I'm upset about it. Okay. The fact that he comes out during times of stress is fine. Michael, are you feeling particularly stressed right now? In this storage locker, going through all these things, and you're getting the feeling with Justin's kind of like trying to go through different things, like ticking off a lot of vampire things as well. Is that making you nervous at all?
So one of my things is actually cool under fire, so stuff like this I feel like wouldn't affect me too much, so probably not.
Okay, I'm going to allow it then. You guys have not really had any activation of any of your curses just yet, which is totes fine. We'll do that next week.
You know what? It's going to happen? We're all going to be driving in the car, and Patrick's going to be complaining, and it's just going to be super stressful.
Oh, man. You know what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get Patrick over here at some point.
I'm going to have to get Joseph on my side. He's just going to F with Pat.
I'll say you guys have been keeping Patrick updated on your locations via text messages, maybe. You guys probably have a set of burner phones just for each other. And more to the effect, a car pulls into the storage facility parking lot where you guys are. and as their headlights shut down, so too does our scene fade. And we're going to close down this episode of Wayward Sons. I hope you guys join us next week and enjoy tonight's episode. We do stream every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. EST on Twitch. You can also find our past videos on YouTube at youtube.com/NSTP podcast. And until next week, I just want to remind you guys, never split the party.
Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick.
Now, for those of you who are still hanging out in the Twitch chat, we're going to go to the after party where we will chat shop, talk about Supernatural, talk about